In February of this year, I spoke at IIT Mandi, and it was about. I said that India is a respect deficit country, and respect moves hierarchical, and the whole room sat up and said, "What?" All right. And then in October, I spoke at two back-to-back events at the Hindu Economic Forum, and my topic was the buffalo, the pain that the buffalo goes through when the crow pecks on it. The crow does not know. It's a very vernacular term. All right. And I said that there were around 100 entrepreneurs. I told them that all of you are the buffaloes. And then they're like, what do you mean? And then I gave a gap and said, you're also the crows. Right? So the analogy over here is I was like working on setting up the MSME forum for HEF. And what I meant was that we as entrepreneurs, all of us are running the business and we are also taking the pain in one way, being the buffaloes. And we are also customers to each other. And we are also causing pain to others. And the one segment that I've been looking at is the credit systems. Right? The credit systems runs deep into, if you have to be an entrepreneur today, you also have to be a bank. You might be doing a business, you might, whatever may be a core competency, but that is all set aside, you have to be a bank. Because you pitch for work with a customer, you will have to give credit facilities that goes for months, that goes for years if it's government. And this is really painful. So that was a topic which I addressed on, and I told them that this ecosystem lacks respect. Right? There are around 11.3 crore businesses in India, of which 6.3 crore is formal businesses in some form, but everyone lacks respect because we don't respect each other. And at IIT Mandi, I'm just connecting the two pieces over here, and I said that we are a highly disrespectful society because we don't respect each other. If we, the higher person will not respect the one who's younger to him, the higher business will not respect the lower, right? And if your various community hierarchies are there, the higher community will not respect the lower community, and this has been going on for years in India. And if you take back, I would say that it all one figure I can say is in 1893 when Mahatma Gandhi was kicked out of the train. The respect movement started there. We call it the freedom movement. He was disrespected, and then he's one of the father of our nation. And then we have Ambedkar, who was also running. He's the father of our constitution, but once again he was also running behind the respect. Now you must all be wondering, as an entrepreneur here, why am I talking so much about respect? All right. So for me too, when I did my golden wide session with Balaji in December of 2024, I just figured out that respect was my golden wide. And at the core of when you figure out that golden vibe of yours, the core of it, you will start seeing that everything that you do is revolving around that one moment. And for me, it was in my fourth standard when my teacher called my father and said that he's not, he needs support in education. He's not that good, and he has to put him for extra tuition. And I felt disrespected because I believed I was good. So it started from there. And for each one of us, there is that one particular moment in our lives where it has hit us hard. And if you see, everything you're doing after that is only behind that one particular thing. And then we reflected, and I saw that I'm in an industry that is the most disrespected industry in the country, and that is construction. Right? It is completely visible. The customer will not respect, the workers who are working at the site, the neighbor will not respect. It's all singular language. There is no plurality in this country when it comes to construction, when it comes to the 49 crore people who are working in the economically weaker sections of the society in the unorganized sector. You take it being farmers, you take it construction workers, you take it domestic and facility management staff, you take it drivers, which forms 49 crore. There is no respect for that. And that is 90% of our working population. So after I figured this particular golden vibe of mine, and it really hit me hard, and now I started to test it in my work environment, in everything that I'm doing, and I'm seeing that yes, everything that I'm doing in work is behind respect. I'm working with people who are not respected. I'm working with businesses, like the way the credit systems that doesn't show respect for people. So that moment onwards, everything has changed in my life from December. Moment I figured out, we sat in for the next session, which is Golden Strategy Square session in Balaji's. I went for a personalized session with him. And then we started looking at how do we build respect in everything that I do in the business. Right from payment systems, there is lack of transparency. You're taking the customer's payment and not giving him transparency in it, you're disrespecting him and his money. Now, if you are working with the people who are service providers and vendors and you don't pay them after the work is done or after the material is taken, so you're basically disrespecting that. How do you make that transparent? So I always had a system where I work with zero credit. You give me money and I work. In construction, that's why I don't do any commercial government works or private sector B2B businesses, only B2C, because of this one problem that I don't want to be standing in front of anyone for asking money. And I don't want someone to come and ask me money. You buy a piece of cloth, you're paying it immediately. Or you use a credit card, within 45 days you pay. Why is it that when it comes to business, you are not paying them? What is the rationale behind it in this country? Or world over, it may have been inherited, but what's the rationale behind credit system? So we went into setting up an escrow-based model. It's all on the website, but everything has to be open. We said that money sits there. Worker has done this because we have to pay his due, and at the bottom of the pyramid is like a bullwhip effect. Everyone is suffering out there, working for their livelihood every day. And if you don't give them 1 day's payment, their children's education is going to suffer. They are not going to be able to pay rents. They are not going to be able to, live a decent life. It's a question of survival for the 49 crore people in India, and I represent 10 crore of the population, which is in construction today, and other 10 crore which is in farming, which is interoperable. And we are doing a grave injustice by not paying them. So I said, escrow-based accounts, money sits there, or customer directly pays to the vendors and service providers, work happens real time. So that happened, building respect to that. The same thing with the service providers. I went to Balaji for one reason, that he had set up BNI in Bangalore, and I deeply appreciated the recognition part of it in BNI. We were recognized as entrepreneurs in various ways, but that recognition has been missing for the unorganized. So I said, we will recognize everyone on the platform. We will give them profiling. And then start recognizing them. That goes a long way. Everyone needs pride. The person who cooks food at home, at the end of the day, if we don't appreciate the food that they cook at home, they are not going to be doing that cooking in a full-hearted manner. Then when it comes to people working with us in business environments, why are we not recognizing them? Especially the ones at the lower segment. We recognize everyone above. So we went into recognition. That is building respect. At one point in time, when we were building the Golden Strategy Square, we were looking around every aspect of our business. But he said, what would be your punchline? I said, there has to be something with respect. And then Balaji came and said, should be together. Then we came up with the punchline, building respect together. And from that day on, it's building respect together. We have been talking in multiple forums, almost 6 to 7 places, IIT, Sambalpur, IIT, TEDx, then Hindu Economic Forum, schools, colleges. Now a lot of people get onto my LinkedIn, start reading. So it is transformative when you touch your core of your life. So that is something that happened with the Golden Strategy Square. And then you name it when it comes to vendors. We started looking at it with the lens of respect. So now the lens of my glasses have changed to looking at everything with respect. And that all started in the December of last month. And I've been running the last 6-8 months in different places with Indian School of Public Policy or various aspects of policy writing for construction. Everything is an angle of respect. Right? So each one of us over here, when you do get the chance or you've already done the Golden Vibe, you will really see what is it, that one aspect that has really, ticking us. What is it, the core of us? Why are we functioning the way we are doing? After you figure out that one Golden Vibe of yours, there is an opportunity, or there will be a reflection whether you want to continue to do what you're doing or do you want to shift. That will get presented once we do that session of Golden Vibes. And then we start building the organization. Do we want to take this forward? That is when we start doing the Golden Strategy Square sessions. And then I went through the methods and manifestation, mindsets workshop. And in the last 2 months back, I attended the mindset workshop and Balaji presented. The entire program in LEC is distinction spread all through, which is primarily beneficial for business owners. And he came up asking that, do you want to be a lion in your business? Or what are you? A lion? And he stopped at that. And in India we glorify the lion a lot across the board. We want to say we want to be like a sher ban ke rehna hai. But what is fundamentally a lion? A lion is playing the survival game, surviving only for itself and spreading fear across the jungle, right? And if you want to be an entrepreneur spreading fear around, which we are also doing greatly. Do you want to be an entrepreneur who's a lion who just wants to play the survival game as a patient game? No, you don't want to. Then he presented another aspect. He said, you want to be a spider. A spider builds a web and the business comes to you, right? You sit back and it starts attracting its feed. In business, you want to build a web and then everything starts coming to you. Do you want to be that? But that is also still limited. And then he presented the concept, you want to be a tree. A tree sustains life. A tree sustains life, it gives life, and it supports the ecosystem. And people want to support it. So do you want to be a business, or you want your business to be a tree wherein people want to sustain it? People want it. So that really struck me hard, and I said, no, not this. I had moved from being this lion to be the spider long time back. But I said, no, I don't want to be both of this. I want to be the tree. And gave up everything. It has been liberation from that moment on in every aspect of my business. I said, if people want to take the business and move forward, so be it. Because you want it. I am not going to do the donkey's job of trying to run the everyday activities. So we young engineers, you will handle the work at the side. You have full autonomy. We respect you. We started building systems in liberation across the board. Vendors, when it comes to the service providers, everything we started. And if you, maybe a couple of months back, I was having around 100 phone calls. Today it's 10. And I want to get that down even more fundamentally, because liberated entrepreneurship is all about we liberating ourselves so that we look at something higher. So these are all the concepts that got presented to me in Balaji sessions, and I am a living example of what has happened from December. And it hasn't stopped. It is like you hit the core of a bore well and you hit a source and the water doesn't stop. Like that, the Golden Vibe session has been doing wonders for me from that day on. So that is about my work set.